Knock out until the alarm, that's already the umpteenth time. It's been a long time since you've felt rested. When the annoying sound wakes you, you were in a coma until that alarm went off. 10 more minutes won't hurt. Let's snooze to wake you up. So, what a pair, this thing has now woken you up for the second time, and you were so quickly asleep. A snooze lasts for 9 minutes. It felt like 20 seconds, even more tired than you were 9 minutes ago. You get up. Damn cop day. If only you could stay in bed for another hour. You can't wait to go back to bed later. Not that you're going to bed on time tonight. The tiredness goes away after your first death of caffeine. With good spirits you left and you notice something on the street. Everyone looks just as tired, from one zombie to another. People don't even bother to hide it anymore. I'm sleep deprived because I'm sleep deprived. It seems the new normal. But nothing is less true. As we know, sleep is a very important element in our lives. We sleep about a third of our time on Earth. Sleep improves our immune system, our emotional well-being, our productivity, and reduces stress. Sleep is a natural state of rest in which the body and mind get the chance to recover, the battery charges. But only a small percentage of the population wakes up genuinely rested. The mere idea of waking up rested sounds unreal. The fact that it is not recognizable has to do with many different factors. Optimal sleeping is a quite complicated subject. Good sleep requires time and sacrifices, something not everyone likes to hear. The good news is that small steps can already make a big difference. Good sleep is a complex interplay of different factors. Factors such as your internal biological clock, environmental factors, light, nutrition, mental states, and rhythm. Becoming good at regulating your sleep is therefore quite difficult. All these factors can be tweaked individually to push yourself in the right direction. Our biological clock, or our circadian rhythm, regulates our sleep-wake cycle. The word circadian comes from the Latin words circa, meaning about, and dians coming from dies, which means day. Circus thus means about a day, or in other words, 24 hours. Our body naturally prefers to work in a cycle of 24 hours. The circadian rhythm is regulated by a structure in the brain, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN. The SCN has a hand in virtually all 24-hour processes in our body. Although we don't need to do anything to make the SCN perform its functions, one way to help the SCN to function optimally. The SCN makes choices based on light. The evidence for this is found in blind people who often experience problems with their sleep-wake center. It can be drastically improved by simply taking this principle into account. Make sure that when you wake up, you are quickly exposed to light and do not snooze. As for snoozing, by snoozing, you disrupt your own biological rhythm. Your body raises its temperature and prepares to become active. The snooze expects the 24-hour rhythm because then you do not become active. Unfortunately, I regularly make myself guilty of snoozing, so let's just break this habit together. Regarding exposure to light, this can be a challenge in cold, gray Netherlands, but even with overcast skies, you could go outside to simply look towards the sun for about 10 to 20 minutes. The SCN realizes that your body needs to adopt an active posture and regulates the internal processes that help with this. There are also other ways to get this light, such as a sun lamp. This helps not only for improved sleep, but also for an improved mood, especially in the winter time. Taking light into account also applies when evening approaches. Ensure that you are not exposed to too much and too bright light right before you go to sleep. And yes, here comes everyone's favorite tip. No screen time an hour before you go to sleep. This is extremely difficult for many people, including myself. The blue light that comes from your screen is hugely addictive, but at the same time also a signal to our SCN that it is still daylight, which is not the case. Here too, there are alternative solutions, such as a super sexy blue light filter glasses. Not only do you sleep better this way, but you also come across well. If you have a partner, another very important way to support our SCN is a rhythm. Going to bed every day within the same hour and getting up within the same hour will have a big impact on our sleep quality and energy levels. This can be boring and sometimes hard to maintain when we do fun things later in the evening. However, it is advisable to maintain a rhythm. The SCN is responsible for the production of melatonin, a hormone that helps in falling asleep. By maintaining a rhythm, the SCN knows when to send signals to the pineal gland, which then emits melatonin. With a consistent rhythm, the signal will eventually be given at a set time, and falling asleep, staying asleep, and waking up becomes much easier. To be able to wake up more energetically, hormone regulation is crucial. Also, it is a hugely complex topic because, well, life happens. Our hormone production is often disturbed by things outside our control. This does not mean that we cannot take steps ourselves. A sleep rhythm and taking light into account can already greatly improve our hormonal balance to produce more melatonin. Investing in the sleeping environment can also help. A space that is cool also helps enormously. Our body temperature drops by about 1 degree Celsius during sleep. This happens because our blood vessels expand and we radiate more heat outwards from our body. When the room temperature in which we sleep is too warm, it raises our body temperature and makes our brain restless. This affects how deeply we sleep. We can even wake up from this. The ideal room temperature is between 16 to 19 degrees Celsius, according to research. However, this varies from person to person. Yet, this is a good guideline to start with. Another hormone that has a significant impact on our sleep is adenosine. When there is more adenosine in our brain, we become sleepy. Caffeine blocks our adenosine receptors, and as a result, adenosine cannot be absorbed into nerve cells, and we do not become sleepy. It's no surprise that we should not consume caffeine before going to sleep. After intake, it takes our body about 4 hours to break down half of all the caffeine. If you really want to sleep well, it's wise to not consume caffeine about 8 hours before going to sleep. Some researchers even suggest not consuming caffeine 12 to 14 hours before sleeping. Let's keep it somewhat fun and stick to the guideline of a minimum of 8 hours. Everyone has probably heard this 1,000 times, but physical exercise also helps increase sleep quality. Moderate to intensive physical exercise lowers our cortisol levels, and cortisol is a stress hormone that keeps us alert. Our body then needs deeper sleep to recover. Thus, we sleep deeper and better. Additionally, exercising also helps keep the biological clock in balance. However, it's not smart to exercise intensively just before sleeping, as that keeps us in an alert state and thus does not help in balancing the biological clock. This video is naturally not complete without dedicating some time to our favorite topic, nutrition. The world is increasingly focused on nutrition, and you hear different advice from different people. Soon, you no longer know what is good and what is bad, and you fall back into your own routine. There are different hormones that interfere with our sleep-wake cycle. One of the most important hormones is tryptophan. Tryptophan is an amino acid that plays a very important role in our mood, but also in sleep. Tryptophan is not produced by our body and must therefore always be ingested through diet or supplements. Tryptophan is converted by our body into serotonin, which is then converted into melatonin. There are different types of food that contain a lot of tryptophan and thus can improve our sleep. Examples include dairy products, nuts and seeds, bananas, and chicken. Magnesium is another substance that is very important for our sleep. Magnesium is a mineral involved in a huge number of biochemical reactions in our body, and it is not only important for sleep, but also for your heart and blood vessels, muscles, bones, and overall energy production. Magnesium is not produced by our body and must, like tryptophan, be taken in through diet or supplements. Magnesium, like tryptophan, is also found in dairy products and nuts and seeds, but also in, for example, fish or dark chocolate. However, your sleep quality is not only about what you consume, but also to a large extent about what you do not consume. Simply put, all food and drink that raise blood sugar levels, especially just before going to sleep, reduce sleep quality. This is because they give you a quick energy boost that makes you more alert. Note that not only sugars can quickly raise your blood sugar level, but also refined carbohydrates. These are found in, for example, white bread, white rice, and pasta. Alcohol is another substance that you should avoid before going to sleep. Alcohol disrupts the various sleep cycles we go through when we are asleep, particularly the rapid eye movement, REM stage, which is disrupted. This is the stage during which we process most of the information we have acquired throughout the day. With disruption, we sleep more superficially and thus not as well. While alcohol may make you fall asleep faster, this does not mean that you sleep better. Another commonly used substance is cannabis. Those who have smoked a joint know that falling asleep is easier when you are under the influence of cannabis. However, the effect of cannabis on sleep is still relatively unknown. Although studies suggest that REM sleep is also affected, this is not always confirmed. The influence of cannabis on sleep, as well as on other aspects of our lives, deserves a video in itself, which will undoubtedly be found on the channel. The last topic that can improve sleep is regulating stress and overstimulation. Stress, especially chronic stress, has a very large impact on our sleep and our lives. I'll just mention that you should avoid stress as if you didn't already know. Stress raises our cortisol and adrenaline levels. There are various techniques that can help you lower stress levels, such as meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, and deep breathing exercises. An example of a deep breathing exercise for falling asleep is the box breathing technique, promoted by Gary Brecker. With this technique, you breathe in only through your nose and start by inhaling for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds, then exhale for 4 seconds, and after exhaling, wait 4 seconds before inhaling again. This cycle leads to a slower heartbeat and a more active parasympathetic nervous system, which puts you in a restful state. Falling asleep becomes easier, and with some practice, stress will decrease. I hope you're still with me and haven't fallen asleep yet. Let's not smash our alarm clocks anymore and appreciate our sleep more by making small adjustments to our lifestyle. We can wake up energized. The alarm clock will never become our friend, but let's aim for a neutral relationship with it. Let's see sleep as an important part of our lives that we can focus our attention on and that we can control. After all, our sleep is our best life insurance.